Question: what do you say to yourself when you realize you've made a mistake? We all make mistakes. Oops, I goofed. I made an error. For me, it's like, man, I messed up. Okay, so you're driving off a used car lot, a car you just bought. And you glance in the rearview mirror and you see the sales manager and the salesman you just bought the car from, and they're giving each other a high five. You probably messed up. You're driving to work in the morning in the car you just bought and playing the radio, and you're reveling in your new purchase and everything is great. All of a sudden, a little orange light comes on the dashboard. It says check engine. Wow, check engine. Then right after that, another light comes on. It says service engine soon. You're like, geez, that can't be good. Then a red light comes on. It says oil. Yeah, right, oil. You're starting to get nervous. And then a flashing red light comes on. It says ABS, ABS. What's ABS? Then the car quits. If you're lucky, you get closer to the curb, and radio's still playing, and you're saying to yourself, I might have messed up. Maybe this has happened to you. You buy a used car. You're happy. Everything seems good. You get home, and you're going to open the trunk, see how much space is in that trunk, right? This is a neat car. You open the trunk, you look inside, and there are 14 empty motor oil containers in the trunk. 3 antifreeze jugs, a set of worn-out jumper cables, a knotted-up tow rope, a can of starting fluid, and an empty can of Fix-A-Flat. You might have messed up. Okay, so you buy a car, and 3.4 years later, you're going to trade this car back in, and you find yourself at a dealer's desk, and the salesman comes out, and he's got his hands folded, and he says, yeah, we checked on some things, and it seems that you owe more on your car that you want to trade us than it's worth. You're upside down. I'm not. What do you mean upside down? I'm sitting here. I'm not upside down. The blood's rushing in my head, but I'm not upside down. Anyway, so let me give you some help, and maybe we can avoid some of those messes. I've been dealing mostly used cars all my life, some motorcycle stuff, but some of this information may help you with a new car purchase. Let's get you ready to be a salesman's worst nightmare. How are we going to do that? Most people are afraid of car salesmen, and it's because they don't prepare. They're not ready. They're hit with a lot of things that they aren't used to. The average car salesman will work 3 car deals a week. I'm not saying he'll sell 3 cars, but average guy will work 3 car deals a week. The average car buyer buys a car every 3.4 years. What that means, roughly, he's going to work 500 car deals to year 1. So no wonder you're nervous, but get prepared and you'll be surprised. Most important thing I can tell you is don't get in a hurry. It applies to a lot of things, nothing more important than buying a car. Unfortunately, most of us aren't recreational car buyers. We wait until we need a car. We don't go looking until our car breaks down or we need another car, we have a new driver in the family, we're going on a trip. Really important, give yourself enough time. You know, and I'm telling you a lot of this stuff. I'm going to retire pretty soon, so I don't have to worry about you guys showing up with all this. Anyway, they say, come down to our dealership. We want to make this an enjoyable experience for you. Bring the family. We've got coloring books for the kids. We got coffee and donuts. Bring your laundry. Got washers and dryers in the back. You know, yeah. I stole that one, but yeah. So really, you should not be afraid to go to a dealership. They are there to help you. They've got to earn their money, but they're there. I got somebody else's notes. what it says here. Okay. So, get educated. Find out what your job really is going to be. You need to make a list of the things you need out of a car and do some research. Go on websites, find information on every single vehicle that's built. Whatever your requirements are, 4-wheel drive, gas mileage, luxury, you need to travel, you need to haul things, lots of people. Look at different models and get yourself educated. So a salesman is not going to sell you something you don't really need. It wasn't always this way. 7 to 10 years ago, buyers didn't have any more of an idea what they were looking at than they would come on my lot or on a car lot, and it would be, well, I don't know. I got to haul 10 people. What do you think? And the salesman says, did you look at this nice red two-door sporty little, and you know, it's not that way anymore. And I will say that most buyers, car buyers now are definitely more educated. So make a list of the different vehicles that would suit your needs and go looking. Where are you going to go looking for a car? Well, of course, there's car lots. You can go on websites, eBay, Craigslist, and there's always the Walmart parking lot. All I can say, if you're going to buy a car that's 5 years old or older, you need to touch it, feel it, drive it, look at it before you buy it. So that's going to exclude websites. I bought lots and lots of cars. The cars that I bought over the phone were always my worst mistakes. But Helena has a lot of car dealers, and there are a lot of cars here for sale. In a short radius, Great Falls and Butte, even more car dealers. So, you know, if you're buying a 5-year-old and older car, it's really important for you to look at that car. There are brokers that will do the work for you. That's up to you. It's going to add to the expense of your purchase, and I think that if you do your homework, you can handle this yourself. So you have this list of cars, and you start checking out car dealers and whatever. You find a couple that might work. The salesperson is only going to tell you what he knows about that car, and that's probably going to be very little. So what can you do from that point? You're not a mechanic, you're not an expert. Well, the first thing you can do is get all the information from him. Then I suggest you get the VIN number, vehicle identification number, serial number. You can go online again, the internet, right? There are lots of different sites. Carfax and AutoCheck are two of the best ones. They have millions, literally millions of reports on vehicles. So they can tell you things like odometer readings, number of previous owners, collision reports, title status. It's all at your fingertips. Before you ever do another thing, check that car out. Okay, so it passes that test. Now you've got this car you think might work. Go for a test drive. Go for a good long one. You're all drivers. It's not rocket science, and you don't have to be a mechanic. You can smell, you can feel, you can see dents. So check it out yourself. If it passes your test, then I suggest you find yourself a good mechanic, an honest mechanic, and one that understands you're buying a used car. And discuss the condition of this car with him. He's going to charge you to do that. A good one will. So he's going to say the brakes are 50%. You have to decide if you're going to live with that. If he tells you the transmission's burn up, obviously you're going to be like, boy, I'm glad I talked to you. But the big thing is have a professional look at that car. It'll definitely pay in the long run. Now we come to the hardest part of this. You've got the car, you've checked it out, it's one that you want. You've got to negotiate with this guy, and that is a scary process. So what do you do about that? Well, there are blue book prices, again, on the internet. There's NADA used car price guide and Kelly Blue Book are the two most popular ones. Don't begrudge the dealer a modest profit. He's going to work for his money the same as you do. Obviously, you don't want to overpay, but look at all of it. If you're buying a really nice car, the chances are that dealer had to pay a lot more for it, so you're going to have to pay more for it. If you have in your mind, I'm not going to pay that price for that car, and you hit a wall with him, and he tells you, yeah, this is my bottom line. You're not going to buy that car, okay? Don't waste your time. If you're going to finance a car, get pre-approved at the bank, at your lending institution, before you go to the dealer. I'm not saying don't use dealer financing, but what I am saying is you need some kind of a baseline. If you know what interest rate you qualify for, and you know what borrowing limits you have, when you get in the dealership, you have something to negotiate with. Now, dealers sell lots of cars, and the banks know this, and they give them an incentive to finance their cars. They have you right there. Sometimes you can even get that interest rate knocked down a little bit. So a car dealership's a good place to get financing, but you need to have that baseline information before you get there. So get pre-approved. Add-ons, when you're sitting at the dealer's desk, he's going to try to sell you a lot of extras. As a rule, don't do it. Extended warranties, paint sealant, don't do it. Those things are not a good buy. And particularly if you're financing. Who wants to finance a $100 paint sealant for 6 years? You've got a trade-in. How do I know what my trade-in is worth? Well, again, you can go to Blue Book prices. You know what kind of shape your used car is in. Nothing worse than being out shoveling your sidewalk, looking at the truck you just bought, and your neighbor drives in your old truck. He says, yeah, I just bought your old truck. I know you took care of it. And you talk to him and you find out he paid $4,000 more for that truck than the dealer allowed you for it on trade. You messed up again. So, yeah, find out what your trade is worth. You will always be better off to sell your trade in yourself. A little more work, it's your money. The dealer has to market your trade. He's going to make a profit. So, yeah, check that out. A dealer will have a trade-in value and an actual cash value. The difference being the amount of he's willing to discount his car. So he thinks your car is really worth $4,000, but because he's willing to discount the car he's selling you $1,000, he can show you $1,000 more, $5,000. Get his cash price first. How much can I buy the car for? Never mind trade-in. So he tells you $9,000. That's my bottom line. We're asking 10, but I'll take 9. Okay, how much will you give me for my trade-in? Now you know what he's giving you actually. So if you don't want to sell your own car, that's one trick you can get. Buying a car off the street, Walmart parking lot, you're taking a big chance. A dealer in Montana has to be bonded and insured. He has to abide by the motor vehicle laws. If you buy a car from an individual, any problems you have, you're going to have to settle in civil court, and it's your word against theirs. A dealer has to document whether or not the car has a warranty. A dealer has to document the odometer readings. So you have a lot more protection, a lot more recourse if a problem should arise. Certain cases, if a relative, whatever, you're buying their car, fine, I get that. But be awful careful. And there are a lot of guys, we call them flippers. They buy and sell cars. They have no license. They don't have to follow any of the rules. You got to be careful of that. It's the last page. I'm right on time. Okay. The only thing I can really say is I got about 6 more months left in the car business. If all this is makes you scared, come and see me. I'll help you out.